Where is God? I have been asking myself this question for the past 30 days after my brother died in a tragic bike accident. Sholem, I know you're watching from above. I'm here giving a speech for you so we can keep your legacy alive because you don't have a voice right now. It has been tough, really, really tough for the entire family not having you in our house anymore. You were the joy in the house. You were the one that used to always crack jokes. You were the little one, the youngest of 4. Our dad was a rabbi. He was devoted to God. We traveled to 4 countries. We were in Argentina, in Colombia, in Miami, and in Guatemala. Sholem, there's no words to describe how much I miss you. You were always there for me when I struggled, and you were always there to motivate me when I was on my way forward and up. To the audience, let me tell you a little bit about our background and Sholem and who he was. Sholem was going to be the soccer captain in the Hillel soccer team. He was always proud of wearing his kippah. He was the only one wearing his kippah in a Jewish school in Miami. Sholem was the youngest of 4. When we moved to Miami, I was 9, Sholem, you were 2. We were switching to new schools. And I was different. I was different in the school. I had a different background, I had a different accent. I was bullied in that school. I didn't fit in that box. It was a really big struggle for me to get used to Miami. But Sholem, I know you had your own struggles as well in school. When our parents moved to Guatemala, you were the only Benchimol kid to move. Chaya was in Argentina with her family. Shnir was in New York studying in college, and I stayed in Miami to finish yeshiva. And Sholem, in Guatemala, you used to always tell me how you struggled. You were there by yourself, you were alone. It was really hard for you. There was one time that you came home crying to mom, asking why were you different in the school? You were the only Jewish kid in that school. There was no Jewish schools in Guatemala. And you asked, why do I have to wear the kippah? The kippah represents that there's one God above us, that we're proud of being Jewish. And Sholem was asking this question when he was 5. Mommy told you a story of David Beckham. After his grandfather's funeral, he was wearing the kippah because his grandfather was Jewish. And that made you so proud because David Beckham was one of your favorite soccer players. And if David Beckham was proud of his history, you can also be proud of your own history. So Sholem, thank God our family was able to move back to Miami. Daddy got a job as a rabbi in Miami. And slowly, you were able to get the family together. But throughout time, I was still in yeshiva, and I was still having my struggles with religion. As you can see, I went to a Chabad school, and it was mandatory to have a beard. The beard represents that whatever is inside you, it's a mystical thing, that whatever is inside you comes out, and the beard is the resemblance of that. And I didn't want to have a beard. I didn't feel comfortable with a beard. So I took it off. I took it off and I was suspended. I got in trouble for it. And I struggled with that. It was really, really hard for me. I was asking, I'm just trying to be a good Jew. Why do I have to get kicked out of a school for trying to show who I am? There's so many Jews without a beard. So yeah, I was considered a rebel in the school. And I decided to run away. I decided to go to China for a semester before college to find myself. Sholem, you were stronger than me. You also had a struggle in yeshiva. You wanted to play soccer. That was your passion. But it was really hard for you to play soccer because every club played on Shabbat. There was no games not played on Shabbat. And you were devastated. How can you be a Jew and be a soccer player, which was your dream, and not able to combine them both? Your life started to change and give a better trajectory when you moved to Hillel because Hillel gave you an opportunity to play soccer and not on Shabbat. They are one of the only schools in the country where they provide a soccer team with a Jewish curriculum. Sholem, you worked so hard on that team. The freshman year, I remember, you were the only player on his freshman year to start. And you played left back. And I asked you, Sholem, do you want to be a striker because you're really good at scoring goals? Why don't you play a different position? From an early age, you knew that in life, you're part of the big game, you're part of a team. You said, Sholem, if the team needs me as a left back, I'll play left back. If the team needs me as a right back, I'll play whatever the team needs me. It's not about me, it's about the team. You were always so selfless. You cared more about others than yourself. Your shoes were ripped, your socks were ripped. You only wanted to play soccer and wear a kippah. There were games, I remember, where the other team used to bully you. They used to scream at you because you were the only one wearing the kippah. You were the target of anti-Semitism in many games. They used to scream at you. They used to try to hurt you on purpose just to get you kippah down. But it didn't get you down. It never got you down. You got up and you played better. You never complained. You always had a bigger goal.
Wow. Colombia was incredible. The food was amazing.
Sholem, it has been more than 35 days since I haven't been able to speak with you. We decided to go on a bike ride April 26, 2020. I used to always go on a bike ride, but this time you decided to come with me. You didn't want me to go by myself. You said, nobody is alone in this world. I'll go with you, Menajem. Little did I know that will be the last time I'll be with him. It was 10 p.m. at night. We decided to go on the bike ride. We're on the biking lane on 172nd and Collins. I was right behind you, a few feet behind you. There was nobody in the street. It didn't make any sense. And a car swerved into you. The car swerved right into you, Sholem, right in front of my eyes. It hit your head, hit the car, the window. Then you fell on the floor and the car ran away. Your bike kept pedaling away. It didn't make any sense. What just happened? This didn't just happen. The first thing I did was run to you to see if you're okay. You were unconscious on the floor. There was no life. You always brought life in this world, and yet I saw you on the floor without life. There was no pulse. There was blood everywhere. What just happened? I was confused. I didn't have a phone with me, so I'd be able to call for help. So the first thing I did was I picked you up and I put you to the side. I don't think any brother will ever want the little brother to see them like that. And yet I was there, picking my brother up on a bike ride that he wasn't supposed to come. So I wouldn't be by myself. I was screaming your name. I was trying to wake you up. Sholem, wake up. Sholem, wake up. But you're not waking up. I was there by myself. I felt hopeless. What was I supposed to do? Then a motorcycle came 2 minutes later. The motorcycle stopped. He saw me right there. The scene was horrific. The first thing he did, he gave me a towel to try to stop his bleeding. And then he called the police for an ambulance to come. I was still holding my brother, and the motorcycle ride driver told me, speak with him. Tell him about who he was. Maybe he'll wake up. So I started doing that until the ambulance came. I was telling Sholem, you're going to achieve your dream of play soccer professional with your kippah. That's what you always wanted to do. You only wanted to represent the Jewish people with your kippah and combine your passions, and you're going to do it. You got hit hard, but you're gonna get up and move forward and keep pushing harder, Sholem. I know you're gonna do it. I've known you since you were a kid. You always pick yourself up, no matter which country, but you're still unconscious. As the ambulance came and they took them away, I wasn't able to go with them because I had to stay to answer a few questions in the scene. And I asked the police to go to my house because I still didn't have my phone. I wasn't able to communicate with anybody what just happened. I told the police, go to my house. We live 10 minutes away. Please tell my parents gently. I don't want them to suffer from this news. My older brother came to pick me up 20 minutes later, and that's when I realized what just happened, because he asked me, Menajem, what happened? That's when I realized. They just crashed Sholem. So I hugged my brother for like 5 minutes. And he drove me to the hospital to go with my parents. The news were not good. From the beginning, the doctors were not optimistic. They said he was not going to make it. I was devastated. I was on the floor. I was crying. I was scared. You know, as an older brother, the only thing you want to do for your younger brothers is to protect them. And yet, I was there, not being able to do anything. As night turned night, the next morning, as the news spread out, there was many groups that were starting, and they were praying for Sholem's recovery. There was 9 WhatsApp groups, so thousands of people were praying for Sholem's recovery. Sholem was creating a movement of change because it impacted a lot of people. There were so many people that were close with him. As the days passed, this was Sunday night, his friends started rooting for him on the hospital. They were not allowed to go in because of coronavirus, so they were outside, social distancing, and rooting for Sholem. We told them where the windows was, and we told them to scream Sholem's name and to send us Sholem's memories through voice note or written. So when we were in the hospital, that's what we did all day. We spoke with Sholem, and we put Sholem's friends' voice notes on his ear, so we'll be able to listen. Maybe he will get up. We had hope. That's the only thing we had. Hope. But he wasn't waking up. He wasn't waking up. Tuesday night came, our sister had to fly out from Argentina, and she was able to see Sholem alive for a few more minutes. It was 6 p.m., she spoke with him, then she went home. The next morning, we got a call from at 7 a.m. We got a call from the hospital, and they asked my parents to go to the hospital. I decided to stay home because I was hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. They're not gonna call our parents to go and check on him. 20 minutes later, I got a call from my dad. Sholem was dead. His heart stopped. He was a brave heart. He was a corazón valiente. That was his nickname in the field. Braveheart, yet his heart stopped. He wasn't living anymore. I was in denial. I didn't want to believe it. So the first thing I did was sit on the floor and just rip my shirt. It's a Jewish tradition to rip your shirt during mourning. I didn't know you have to do it on the funeral, but I did it anyways. I was so confused. Never would I have expected to go through this. I don't think anybody expected to go through this. The funeral happened. Then the Shiva came, which is the Jewish tradition of 7 days of mourning. Usually the community comes, checks on the family, they bring food, they say words of console. Sholem, you impacted so many people's lives. So many people sent messages. So many people came to your funeral. They had to stay on their cars. They were not able to go outside. Thousands joined on Zoom. The movement kept going. Sholem, you were able to start a movement that thousands of rabbis are not able to do. people started wearing kippas. 800 people started wearing kippas. Your kippa, Sholem. Hashtag Sholem and the number 3 on your shirt. There was 50 students at Hillel that started keeping Shabbat in your memory, Sholem. This is a non-religious school. It was the first time they kept Shabbat. Even your friends made these sweaters, number 3, that says Sholem Corazón Valiente, the foundation that we're going to start in your name. So Sholem, it's been really, really hard. And even through all this strategy, I decided not to question God. I decided to accept. I decided to accept God's decision, even though it's been the most difficult thing I am able to do.
The camera's right on me.
I cry every night watching your videos, listening to your old voice notes, watching your silly Snapchats. Yet I decided to accept God. As a family, as a community, we accepted God's decision. And we want to keep your legacy alive, Sholem. That's the reason we're starting the foundation in your name. Our first goal is to provide an opportunity for Jewish kids, for religious kids, to play soccer and not play on Shabbat. We want to work with leagues, so we'll be able to create a team that won't play on Shabbat at a club level. The second goal that we want to achieve for you, Sholem, is to spread your values, your character traits. You were so proud of who you were. You were so proud of wearing the kippah. You had so much compassion. You had so much joy. You had so much life. You know, we live in different times. So we want to spread joy in your name, Sholem, with Sholem Corazón Valiente. That's going to be our purpose. We're going to turn pain into purpose in your name, Sholem. In your name. I have here with me, Sholem, a quote that you had hanging on the top of your ceiling. You used to read this every single morning. This motivated you every single day. You came up with this, Sholem. It says, "The sacrifices that they have done for me, I owe it to them. I will succeed. I will make them proud. I will put a smile on their face. Do it for the culture." Sholem, I want to tell you that you have succeeded. You made us proud. You put a smile on our face. Sholem, you did it for the culture. You were taken so young from us, yet you achieved your mission in life. So Sholem, we'll keep your legacy alive. Thank you for 17 wonderful years together.